Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. Today we are back here at the steel mill to finally give the coils a proper attempt, a reasonable one. I didn't mind the small trailer all that much, but it got a bit top heavy and the track width wasn't really there to support it and make it stable enough. Doing a single coil run with a pickup truck, besides definitely going to be blowing the tire, it's just not really all that amazing for the payout. Maybe if I could use the Kira van due to its double back wheels, that might be enough to take all the mass and survive. But as it is with any regular pickup truck, I don't think it's going to be that amazing. So I've kind of given up on that as well. Therefore, the most obvious choice is full-size semi-truck and also full-size trailer. The more reasonable one would be to just take the open flanker, but I recently outfitted this one with LED strips thanks to the new placement system for those, and I want to see them at night, so we are going to be using this one, despite me knowing better. But yeah, I want to give this a try. Actually, I've already done one of these deliveries, so I know that this is actually a pretty good money maker now. The thing is, it all depends on how many coils you load and where you put them. I checked out the tonnage for the different tires. These are obviously, of course, the heavy duty ones. So each double tire can take 12 tons of weight, meaning that per axle we are looking at 24 tons. And the single tires can go for 8 tons, so 16 per axle. Axle weight, of course, being important because that's the only thing that we can check in this game. And in order to check it, we actually need to approach this from a slightly weird angle. I'll show you guys in a moment. But first, let's drive over here. And yeah, for the time being, until we get a use for it, I might just be completely ignoring the H-beams. They weigh 6 tons per pack. 4 packs can go onto a single trailer. And apart from it being slightly heavier than the same amount of planks, there isn't really that much different. And as long as I don't touch these, at least I can get all the coal input dedicated to the coil production, which in my opinion is still just very, very much over tuned or something. It's just using way too much. It's ridiculous. Anyways, we have our Vulcan here. We can go to the pickup point and spawn in the first one. This is likely going to be a multi-episode endeavor. So we are going to go towards Jeju Harbor. So let's get the first coil. I thought I could just drive into it if I didn't steer in any way after the thing spawned in. But sure, it doesn't really matter too much. Let's pull it up. And now let's get out of the way because I'm going to actually be using the pickup point over here to check my axle weight. And I already made a suggestion about possibly moving this thing away because yeah, it's really useful knowing where your axle weight is at for the entire truck, and therefore you kind of need to be in contact with the pickup point. So we'll be driving it somewhere over here. And yes, I'm using a 13-speed transmission for this one. I tried this already and 6-speed just doesn't get up certain hills, so we need a bit more torque. Okay, this should be alright, and since the front axles can take the most weight, we are going to start loading onto there. I got a comment recently from somebody who tried loading 10 coils, and apparently before leaving OG the tires all just popped on the vehicle, so trying to avoid that. I could theoretically pack a few tire repair kits and that kind of thing, but that sounds like quite the hassle. And yeah, I think you need to be somewhat fast with everything here to make it worthwhile. Also, ideally I should have set this off on the ground for a moment and put it a bit further to the front of the ram to be able to reach further into the trailer. I don't want the stuff to all be sitting on one side, so we'll be pushing it a bit further onto the whole thing. And yeah, first we need to get out, then we... Oh yeah, and the entire thing is kind of moving towards me, which is a bit concerning. But yeah, I'm just going to be pushing up against it. Okay, first gear can do that pretty nicely. Okay, that seems to be centered, so let's go and grab the strap. Cargo is overlapped, just usually takes a few attempts. Okay, I think this might be resolved by me going backwards. Yeah, now it works. So there's apparently a problem if the cargo is still touching the ram. Also, I'm going to quickly refresh my vehicles here. I'm down a few now. I removed all of them, or all of the trucks that were doing the food processing stuff. I don't know, it got annoying. They sometimes lose the trailer and it's a lot of maintenance trying to keep all of that working. So until that's fixed, I don't really want to use them. And actually the steel mill is quite full for a lot of stuff. So right now it's really just the coal the production is waiting for. Okay, let's see. We have a bit of weight on the axles here, but this is mainly for the truck. The trailer itself is still looking pretty light, but we are going to change that in a moment. Anyways, let's get another coil for Lijo, and can I get multiple ones? Ah, not enough space. Okay, that's what I thought. So let's go grab the second one. At least as it is right now, I get some use out of the Vulcan, and that's something that I've been really looking forward to. I hope we'll get it for other cargo at some point as well. Because right now the coils, while they are kinda cool and all of that, they take way too much stuff to produce. So this is really an exclusive job to do. And yeah, I tried upgrading my shadow settings, but for some reason it doesn't really want to look good. Okay, let's try and put it a bit further up front on the fork. This is okay, as long as the coil doesn't tip over. I also noticed that the coil doesn't really have much friction while being on the ram. So if I brake a bit too hard, it's going to slide further down the ram. I don't really want that, but what can you do? And ideally I get this one loaded right up next to the other coil and very much in parallel to it. We could even go for a little stack if I can pull this off. Okay, this isn't too bad. Handbrake, neutral, so I can engage everything else here a bit further. Oh god, it's coming more towards me. This is not what I wanted. Okay, I think I can pull out now. But yeah, I'm going to have to push it further in again. I don't think this is really what you are supposed to do. But especially if the thing comes after me again, then I just have to do something about it. Let's see if I can just drop it down like this. Nope, getting the cargo overlapping error again, so gonna back out and be quick before the whole thing slides back towards me again. I mean, they are nice and close together, but they are also a bit tilted, so I think overall they are pretty much in the middle. So this is as good as I could hope for right now. So let's get this back out. I still need to spawn in the next one. And let's just do that right now. It's better to do from inside the vehicle so we can check the axle weight. We are slightly over 13 tons on the tractor axles, so we should be alright with another one in between them. Ideally, I want to stack it up there. Okay, Lijo Harbor, another one. And since I'm doing this while inside a larger vehicle, I'm already getting the adjusted payout. So yeah, Lijo Harbor, third one. Back into our truck over here. This is likely just going to be mainly about loading on the stuff. I don't mind that. Also, one thing I would be hoping for is maybe in the future we'll actually have to unload the stuff at the harbor as well. Oh, this is doing it automatically now. I don't like that. Yeah, it would be nice if the delivery platform at the harbors actually required me to get into another Vulcan over there and unload it from the trailer. This is such a unique vehicle, which I don't think ever is going to get too many more uses. There might be another few things you can do with it, especially even with this attachment, but it's always going to be limited. Maybe there are going to be a few more other versions with other front attachments, but yeah, I would like this thing to get a bit more use. And I think unloading the stuff at the harbor would be one of those. Okay, here we go. It's slightly tilting forward, so that's a bit concerning. Am I high enough? I think just barely. It's touching, that's not great. Let's pull it up a bit further. Let's see how far this thing can even go. I think it should be about done. Yep, that's maximum. I wonder if you could even go for a triple stack here. Not that I would recommend it. Okay, let's get a bit further away. Try to give me a bit of wiggle room for getting the position right, and yeah, okay. This is not what I wanted to happen. But I mean, it's not like it's looking bad up there. Let's check the axle weight. I don't want to unload it anymore. Okay, we are at about 17 tons and slightly over 19, so this is good for the front. Can go up to 24, but we don't really need to push our luck here. So let's go and get another one in. Honestly, putting it down like that, it's almost art. At least if it was deliberate. Maybe I shouldn't have raised the RAM all that time. Come on, just pull down the entire thing here. Try to get the RAM to a horizontal position. Okay, that looks alright. Let's go and grab the next one. So I think somewhere between, and this was already off to a bad start. Somewhere between 5, 6, maybe 7 coils might be the sweet spot for the delivery here. You don't want to fully overload the tires, but you definitely need to make good use of the tonnage they provide for you. Can I just drag the entire thing back? Oh god. You know what, maybe let's pull the trailer a bit further forward. It's alright as long as it barely touches. Okay, here we go. I think I want to try putting this one fully on the back. Again, the front is kinda where it needs to be, so maybe we can have 2 on the back and then another one somewhere in the middle. The stupid coil is once again fully at the RAM, or at the base of the RAM. It's a bit disorienting having to go into neutral all the time, because that's really the only way the entire fork is going to move at a good speed. Okay, this looks alright. Not really at the back though, so let's go back a little bit further. Okay, that's not looking good with the coil being so far in front. I think any safety inspector might have a different opinion on that, but I'm looking at this purely from me trying to load it in the center of the trailer. And I think this is exactly what we just hit there. So I'm really happy about that part. Yeah, and the entire trailer is going to go down as soon as I add the strap to the whole thing. Okay, let's check the axle weight. There's still a bit of wiggle room on the back. Again, we can go to 16 tons, so I think if I... Oh wait, actually the axles are a bit further forward than I thought. They're not towards the actual rear. I think through loading one of these in the very back, this might also be now act as a bit of a teeter-totter, so this one being behind all the axles might actually give this part a bit of lift, which is why I think this used to be a bit further down, but yeah. We'll just load on another one. Another one off to Jeju Harbor. And I'll just try to put it right here. So here we go. I hope by now it's become obvious why I'm doing this in a weird way and trying to keep the trailer on the interface so I can at least see the axle weight. I think this is really the difference between doing this well and maybe not. Then again, once I got fully figured out where each of the coils need to go and how many I can load to begin with, then from that point on, as long as I keep that in mind, I should be alright and not need this anymore. That wasn't high enough. So let's accelerate and harshly brake. This is looking good now. Okay, this one has landed. I may want to slightly push it a bit further away from me. Just like that. Stop. So many gears on this thing. Okay, that's 5 coils. That's exactly how much I used the last time. Let's see if we can find a place for another one. So yeah, the axles are actually... Oh. The rear axle is at 17 tons now, so the tires are actually definitely overloaded. Not too happy about that. I think we need to... Oh shit. I pressed the wrong button and despawned the last one I loaded, so that's not great. Gonna get that one back on. Otherwise, I would have needed to pick it up again and put it down somewhere else anyways, but yeah, I would have rather done that. But yeah, I pressed the wrong button, despawned the thing that was loaded, so here we go again for the 5th one. 5th coil, 2nd attempt. So might as well get it a bit closer to the middle. Yeah, this might be a good spot. Back out again. One thing I really find annoying is that just through idling, if you leave the car in gear or any truck or anything like that, it's just going to drive off. So yeah, that's kind of what's been bothering me for the entire time, because the The whole thing just won't stay still. Yeah, come on, let me in there. Okay, what are we looking like? We have 14.7 tons on the rear axle, so that's barely more than 1 ton to spare. We're down to 16 tons on the front, on the front double axle of our truck. So that's pretty neat. 11, 12 tons. I could maybe fit another one. Let's try it. It would have to go very much on the front end. So last one to Jeju Harbor. That's definitely going to be the limit. Unless you want to deal with pop tires along the way. I mean, as long as the tires are fresh, I guess I could still make it even with 7. As long as I do this cleverly. But yeah, the tires would definitely be suffering along the way. I don't know if I'm in for that. But yeah, I'm already not paying too much mind to the overall limit and overloading fees and all of that. That doesn't really concern me that much. But at least I would like my equipment to stay somewhat in shape. Honestly, it feels nice doing this properly. And yeah, if I'm flipping through drive modes, that's me really trying to go into neutral, because I have a button set for that, but if I hit the left bumper and the button for neutral, then that's going to switch through the drive modes. Let's turn this thing off. Ideally, we won't be needing it anymore. Okay, let's see. 17.6 tons on the rear axle, that's a lot. I think that's a tiny bit too much. I could potentially deal with this by getting the second coil from the rear situated a bit differently, so we might just do that. If I can. So we need to put this axle a bit further forward, and that should be able to handle or rebalance the weight a bit better. Just like that. Okay, now let's unstrap the whole thing. Raise it up. I don't know how far I need to go forward. I really wish I took the other flanker now, because the parts of the frame that don't fold down, that's kinda getting in my way now, because I think I would really like it to be exactly where the middle pin thing is that's standing up there. But not much I could do about that right now. I'm not going to switch over to the other flanker. But yeah, if I'm doing this more often in the future, maybe if we get more industries that actually need this stuff, I might invest into one of the open flankers and tune it accordingly. I have one of those already, but that's actually tuned for off-roading, so soft suspension, everything pretty far up and all of that. But I think this one really needs something reinforced. Honestly, for most of the stuff, I'm not even sure if my blue flanker here really needs the heavy duty tires. For this one, of course, obviously. But for everything else, it's really not that easy overloading those. Getting over extra weight, no problem. But really overloading your tires with even the non-heavy ones, yeah, kinda needs a heavy cargo. But most of the pallets and all of that you can transport here, that's usually fine. That's maybe a bit too far, but seems to be alright. Let's strap it down and check the weight again. 16.6 on the rear, 14.4. We could try and get a bit further forward, but I'm not really sure how to do that. Unless I side swipe it with the RAM. You know what, let's keep it as is and go from there. I think we've done enough fadangling over here. Or whatever you want to call it. This is... I mean, this is not even looking all that bad, apart from the weird one standing up in front. But yeah, I think this is usable. Some of them are even a bit too far on this side. But I think it might even out in the end. This is overall a pretty good load. Okay. So with that being said, I think we might end the episode here and do the actual trip in the next one. Loading this up has taken a lot longer than I expected. I mean, I don't think I've done an awful job overall, but yeah, it's it's a process. And as you can see, at the very least, it's still running, so the truck is good to go. This is going to be a bit harder than the last time, because the last time I only loaded 5 coils instead of 6. But we'll see how this one turns out. Until then, yeah, next episode we'll do the full run. And yeah, until then, have a good one. Bye bye.